To show us, so this is New Zealand lamb, these chopped up. You can see it up there. All the meat in Europe, of course, has to have a note of origin on it. So we can see what was what. I haven't got. Did I say? Oh, that's just an example of another supermarket, massive, great. Presentation was great. All the different meat. For those of you know your French, you know what meat's what. This goes down the corridor, but pretty impressive. It just, I hope you got a flash, I should have included a photograph. Here's some wonderful stuff that we saw in Marks and Spencer, Sainsbury's in London, just the packaging and the presentation. So, again, as I'll touch on in a minute, just, what really struck me is the real push, the patriotism in every country. So you walk into Sainsbury's in downtown London, and it's best British, by British, all above the meat stand. So we've got a battle to keep our place in the European Union. This was really what I just want to finish up with, which is quarter past now. This was my observations coming away from Europe, and to me this was sort of the take home. I can tell you that demand for our lamb is still strong in Europe. The supermarkets that we talk to, they do enjoy it, and so to me as a farmer coming back to New Zealand, the issue is the currency. Not the demand for lamb. It's still holding up pretty well. They're wanting more of our chilled product rather than frozen. So that side's looking good. New Zealand lamb, it's well known. Being called in a survey, 93% of the people that surveyed in England knew about New Zealand lamb. And I certainly found it. Every taxi I jumped into, I told the taxi driver who I was and where I was from, and he heard about New Zealand lamb, and they all loved it. Yeah, they keep it for special occasions, Christmas and Easter mostly. Complementarity, that was really rammed home to me. That's the only way we're going to survive in Europe, because the Europeans won't let us in 12 months later. Part and parcel of that complementarity is we do start to need to move away more quickly, and I know there's work going on with the China alliance away from that European market, because although at the moment there's some people criticise why we're reliant on that quota, but the simple fact is the quota market, the European market, is still the highest paying market for high level cuts. So the stuff going to China is it's booming along well, but it's generally the forequarters and the flaps and the pork cuts, but the racks and the legs. The same old. They talked about aging farmers and land value. They couldn't understand why farmers were worth so much when farmers were going bankrupt. So common issue. Climate change one we've touched on. That's just something that all I can say to you guys here is whether you believe in science or not. And I'll take Rob's point with the fact that sheep and cattle farming in New Zealand, we're pretty clean and green on this issue, but we do have to just keep focusing on as Zone Paul who said yesterday something along the lines of that the customer is the new the term of the market, and the customers believe in it, so we need to follow it. And the other one was talking about that buy local diversification. Really important. This here, perhaps I'll just touch on the access. Might touch on this yesterday. Yeah, I was in two minds during the consultation round. There was a lot of debate about more money being spent on access and on market development. But I've come home with a real belief that access is an issue. The Europeans don't want us. It's 50% of our market. Every single country we went to, they try to find excuses why they wanted to put New Zealand lamb out. Meat and Wool are doing a good job of smoothing over the cracks, I guess, and as I say, talking about this complementarity, talking about helping, let's promote lamb together and not be divisive. So I've just put there that we perhaps need a bit more debate and discussion. Mike touched on last night on the market development issue. Again, of the 20 countries represented at the Brussels conference, we're the only country, land-producing country, that is not spending significant money on market development. And the crazy thing is we are by far the largest exporter of all that group. So we just need to reconcile that in our minds, I guess, and determine whether that's the right course of action. Of course, that would be sold. My own personal thought with this whole thing is I'd far rather get to a Fonterra-like situation where, because Dairy NZ, of course, don't do any market development or market access, they in that industry have got a commercial player big enough to do the access issues and the development issues on the right, and that would be my preference. That's done commercially, but of course to do that we need to firstly reorganise the meat industry. I had one other comment, was it talk about the market development one, but well certainly, yeah, in fact just going to the access one, you know, it is interesting, and I hadn't had that opportunity in Europe before, but you know, another thing that did strike me, I guess some of the no campaigners that were pushing the no vote for the, you know, this, well basically for the meat or maybe, and I remember their comments or their reasoning, and they basically said, well, government, you know, access is a government issue, not a farmer issue. But I kept thinking as we sat down in front of members of Parliament in Ireland, farming groups, supermarkets, that I would be far more comfortable as a hill country sheep producer in New Zealand to have a farmer there working those access issues because they were difficult and they were sensitive, rather than some government-paid employee pushing it. So again, it's it's something we just need to keep thinking about. This one here, really interesting. The supermarket power. Again, same issue as New Zealand here, and my own thoughts on this one again is I'd far rather solve this issue through market-related mechanisms, and that is, you know, well, I guess put another way, Zespri and Fonterra sit at the same table with supermarkets, and I think they negotiate strong, profitable proposals on behalf of their owners. It's something where we struggle in the sheep meat industry, and you know, it's the same issue overseas, but where it's moved to overseas, it's moved further than we have here in New Zealand. Even Marion Fisher-Bold, the EU Commissioner, was talking about perhaps it's time to legislate for more transparency with supermarket margins, and to legislate for a fair share, exactly what we were talking about this morning, you know, with 33% and the bits and pieces, but to legislate for an even, a fair distribution along the whole supply chain. And that I found, you know, that I thought that was really interesting. There's danger in that, of course, because again, your income becomes determined by government legislation. So, you know, some official will determine whether 30% of final income to farmers is good enough, or 40%, whatever. So, yeah, quite interesting. And even, you know, we were lucky enough to sit down one afternoon. We spent a day in Dublin, and we had a meeting with the agricultural ministers, and they were talking quite openly about the fact that they may have to move meat legislation to basically it was to shift power away from supermarkets and give a bit more power and profitability back to producers. So it's a pretty sad situation, I thought, but something we just need to be very aware of here because it's coming. The bottom one I thought was, I think that's my last bit to finish on, is, yeah, that sort of resonates with a lot of our concerns, and there's no question, I picked this up on a number of occasions, whether I was talking to Welsh marketers or supermarkets or importers, and this comes right back to the age-old debate we've had here for quite some time now, the fact that our supermarkets are undercutting each other in the European market to maintain supply. So some of that's centred around the way the quota is set up, and I can tell you that that's been reviewed at the minute. That's just something that's keeping under the radar, but we would just, yeah, David Carter's well aware that quota is actually, although it's a great league, I guess, to a very profitable market, it's causing some distortions in how the companies are behaving in the European market. So, yeah, interesting one. But so I think that's am I through? Yeah. So this.